Hello and welcome to this week's Shooty and the Catfish development vlog. Shooty and the Catfish, if this is your first time, is a turn-based comedy RPG being made in RPG Maker MV. It's a very dumb and goofy game, and today I was finishing off the last of the content for the Sausage Shrine, and I apologize for the nature outside, but that is the nature of nature, and unfortunately I'm not the sort of person that's going to kill birds over them making noises in my recordings. Anyway, the only real things I had left to do for this dungeon outside of balancing is writing gags first of all for the bookshelves. So here we go, one of the gags that I've put on here. What is the funniest barbecue movie of all time? Monty Python and the Holy Grill, a timeless classic barbecue joke. So I put those in, and also the optional boss for this area. So in this room here there is a locked door, and once you get the key for that you can fight this fellow here who is Edmund from ZDS's game Three Ghostly Roses. If you haven't played it, you definitely should, because it's pretty good, and you can have a little bit of a conversation with him. And of course, like all the optional boss fights in the game, once you defeat him you get a Nimbin figure which goes into your trophy room, so a completely optional collectible. So I did all of Edmund's stuff today. So here's his little sprite here, which I ended up just chucking on one of the sheets from episode 1 that had a bit of space on it. And in terms of his moveset, if you are familiar with Three Ghostly Roses, he maintains all of his attacks from the end of that game: face jab, knee, gut, shin kick, uppercut, drop kick, leg sweep, roundabout, heartbreaker, bravery, and they all increase in power as they go along. Anyway, point is, he's there, you can fight him, he's cool. So now, I've just got balancing to do, and I'll probably worry about that more towards the end of the game development, so I might just move on to episode 4. How does that sound, everybody? Good morning, it is Monday, and almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've just been planning what I'm going to be doing this week. It's going to be hot, I've got a lot of freelance going on, so I'm trying to keep things simple. So my goals for the rest of this week is today I'm going to touch up the tiles for the next area, which is Flatwoods. We are returning to the location of my first game, actually. It's going to be recreated here, although it's all underwater now. But we've got Flatwoods. Once the tiles are updated for both the dungeon, and I'll be using those for the town as well, I think. Then I'm going to move on to the mapping tomorrow for the main town, because the dungeon's already done. Wednesday, I'm going to come up with some NPC sprites. It's a small town, it's only going to have a few homes, so I won't need many. And then portraits for them on Thursday. And then I'm working this weekend, so hopefully I can get all this done. And these are the hours I've been working, doing film shoots and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty busy, but let's see if I can get these tiles done. Good afternoon. I have just finished all of the renewed art assets for this dungeon and this part of the game for Flatwoods Swamp and Flatwoods Town itself. As you can see here, this is currently using the original Game Boy Color styled visuals that I did quite some time ago. It might have even been before I moved into this apartment, which is it's a year and a half or more. I'm going to quickly swap these out and hopefully it all works fine. Let's find out. Alright, the new ones are in, so it's kind of funny it doesn't automatically refresh, but if I click off and then click back on again, lo and behold, oh, I didn't turn the saturation down on one of them. The rest of them are all fine. As you can see, it's very, very washed out, which is quite deliberate. There are a few things which apparently I did not desaturate. Yeah, just these tiles here, which are basically, in my original game, Flatwoods, my first game that I ever made, there was a forest, and that location has been recreated in here and is kind of along the same lines. So we've got like there's a timber yard that's gone underwater, and an old farm. So people who've played Flatwoods will recognize these buildings because they're actually the same ones, I just tweaked them. But I better fix that up. Alright, there we go, it's all fixed up now. I think before I exported them, I forgot to change the color of 2 of them before I re-exported them, because I made some changes. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, now we've got our, we've got our little swamp here that we can explore. So this is one big map, this dungeon, and I'll be using the same assets in the town, because the town, like I said before, is going to be quite small. This is a muddy, swampy, grossy, don't know what kind of enemies are going to be in here. Well, I kind of have a bit of an idea. And it's going to have a focus on keys, much like the first dungeon in the game, going back to that sort of layout and system. So cool, this is all working. Look at this, beautiful. Also, some people might recognize this particular aesthetic here, and that's because of a certain optional boss fight for, you know, a little extra hint. I don't know if this aesthetic's familiar to anyone, but anyway, that's going to be it for today. I'm just going to set the appropriate things to the tiles, the what you can and can't pass through, because you should not be able to pass through a lot of this stuff, because I added in a lot of additional tiles that weren't originally there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going out to a friend's place for dinner. So tomorrow I'm going to map the town, which will be fun. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, and welcome back to the town of Flatwoods. So here's some mapping I did today for the town of Flatwoods. I've also done the homes, which, you know, they don't link up yet. Pretty much the same as other towns, but this is the main map. It's been a pretty big day work-wise. I did a ton of video editing, but I'm glad I managed to get this done too. Check it out, you can even walk behind the statue. So, if you're familiar with my very first game, Flatwoods, this little guy here might be familiar to you, or if you're familiar with cryptozoology at all, since it's just the Flatwoods monster, basically. But yeah, he's a pretty big part of this episode of Shooty and the Catfish, and he's going to tie into the story in a pretty big way. I guess you could say this acts as a bit of a sequel to my game Flatwoods. So yeah, really, that's all I got done today. But I mean, considering all things considered, oh, you're not supposed to be able to do that. Well, I guess I still have a little bit of work to do. But generally speaking, it's all working the way it's supposed to. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. Good morning, it is Wednesday, and today I've been working on the character portraits for the NPCs in the town of Flatwoods. There's only going to be 8 of them, at least 8 new ones. There'll be a couple of returning ones from previous areas. We've got a pineapple man, they're a mango, and they're delicious. I've got a little cute banana. We got Lime, who is the younger brother of Lemon, who was in the first episode of Shooty and the Catfish, and was also in my first game, Flatwoods. We've got the son of the farmer from Flatwoods, a carrot man. We have an apple, who's hella dumb, and we've got a pear and an eggplant, because you got to have a couple lovely ladies. And there's something, I don't know, I find kind of interesting about taking something that's usually a phallic symbol like an eggplant and using that as a female character is kind of neat. So anyway, for my process, I sketched these up in Adobe Animate, which has a new user interface that I don't know how I feel about. I export them as an image sequence, each one being 48 by 48 pixels, so absolutely tiny. Whoa. Well, Windows doesn't do a good job zooming in. Then I bring them into Sprite and lay them out in these character sheets like this, and I will be coloring in over the top using these outlines as reference. So that's what I'll be doing this afternoon, but I need to go to work now. Good afternoon, I hope you've all had a good day. I had a pretty good one, it was a pretty productive one. I got a lot of video work done, freelance wise and stuff, but that's not what you're here for. You're here for these portraits that I ended up doing this afternoon, and here they are, Mr. Pineapple, Mr. Mango, or Mrs. Mango, undecided. Not really important, really, they're a mango and they can be whatever they like. There's the banana, there's lime, the carrot, the apple, the pear and the eggplant. They're all there and accounted for. So tomorrow, the last part of this project I'll be working on this week will be the actual character sprites for these on the map. So that's going to be pretty awesome. That'll be it for this week. So I'm actually looking forward to turning these guys into character sprites, because they're going to be pretty fun, I think. Good morning, it is Thursday morning to be exact, and I'm getting ready to go for work, but I got up extra early this morning and I got all of the new NPCs for the little town of Flatwoods. I got all their sprites done. Pretty happy with how they all came out. We got the pineapple, we got the mango, we got the banana, we got the lime, we got a carrot man, we got the apple, we got a pear and the eggplant. They are all there and accounted for, which is great. So that means I've already got everything that I had set that I wanted to achieve this week done, which is great. So tomorrow it's on to editing this devlog and the Patreon update, which despite not setting myself a ton of stuff to do this week in terms of large scope and scale, I've got lots of little things done this week, so it'll probably take me a little bit to write it up. But yeah, can't wait. Can't believe I had a good week this week like this. So yeah, now I'm going to head off and I'm going to get myself my filming on. Freelance time. Good afternoon. It is Friday. Well, actually not even good afternoon. It's 8 o'clock at night and I'm about to start editing this week's devlog. But today I was working all day. I was editing all afternoon. Then after that I did this week's Patreon post, which is up there for everyone to read if you want to have a look. And I'm about to do the edit for this week. But before I do, how about we take some things off of Trello, because I've been forgetting to do that on video, so it's a little satisfying to see. Town tiles, gone. Town mapping, gone. Town NPC sprites, gone. NPC portraits, gone. Flatwoods swamp new tile, gone. That is a huge chunk for episode 4 already done, so that feels really good. And now I'm going to start editing this episode, which I've got like 20 minutes worth of 18 minutes worth of stuff to go through. I just finished editing the Game Awards, trying to work out how much of it was advertising and how much of it was actually related to the games from this year, so that was a fun little experience. I've been in Premiere all day doing stuff, so hopefully I can get through this pretty quick and then I can get to bed because I'm tired and I gotta go straight back to work tomorrow. So as always, I'd like to thank my $5 patrons, Cortop Dev and Lone Wolf, and if you would like to access early builds of the game, you can also do that by becoming a $5 patron. But of course, you don't have to be a patron, you can just watch the video and like it if you enjoy it. And yeah, that's it for this week. Oh, one more thing before I leave. It is looking like sometime after Christmas I'm going to hit the 1,000 subscriber mark and I'm going to do a Q&A video. I'll probably talk about this more in the coming weeks, but if you leave some comments down below, I will save those and I'll put those in the video. So there is that. So that's it for this week. Have a great weekend, everybody, or a great week, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out and have a good one.